Every one of our alumni, I think, deserve recognition for the special things they do to help our community. But I'm especially pleased that the Alumni Council has identified 6 extraordinary individuals to recognize this year. Dr. Sharon Anderson has honed her leadership skills for the benefit of the School of Medicine for over 20 years. An internationally respected nephrologist, Dr. Anderson has led School of Medicine initiatives around clinical quality that have improved patient care both here and at the VA hospital.
I came to OHSU as an intern, and I came because it had a reputation, even back then, of being a supportive, collegial environment with a flair for innovation. I think when you're looking for a place to train or a place to work, you really need to consider all the factors. You need to look for a job that will not only enable you to do what you're most interested and passionate about, but I would always advise people to look for a place that has multiple options and opportunities, because you don't know, especially early in your career, what you're going to get excited about later. So find a place that has multiple options. Do what feels right, but follow your passion. Figure out what really excites you and figure out a way to do it.
Dr. Maria Rodriguez was recognized with OHSU's Humanitarianism in Medicine Award for the difference she made in improving the lives of women from Portland's immigrant populations. She is now taking this and other experiences to the World Health Organization, where she is working to improve the lives of women globally and nationally.
My father moved here from Cuba when he was a little boy. And so I think seeing some of the issues that he faced as being a Latino man and a physician in small rural communities kind of inspired me to be aware of some of the injustices that exist. Training at OHSU has made a big impact on my career. It's interesting to be at OHSU where our work is much more focused on the individual patient in the clinics, whereas at the World Health Organization we're dealing with much more basic, kind of fundamental problems. In the next 10 years I hope to continue to build my research skills and to really be able to generate evidence that helps improve care and outcomes for women, both here in the state of Oregon, but also globally.
Dr. Tom Hoggard and Dr. Mary Burry have brought their skill, compassion, and commitment to care to some of the world's harshest medical environments.
About 2 years ago, I quit doing my regular family practice. And for a number of years, I assist in surgery. In addition, I teach up at the medical school in the Global Health Department, and do a lot of international disaster work as well as teach internationally.
We started in Somalia, then Kosovo during the genocide that happened there. Then we went to Mozambique for the floods. We went to Turkey for the earthquake, Iraq and Afghanistan for those invasions, immediate post-war period. We just got back from the Philippines for Typhoon Yolanda.
Well, you're definitely more self-assured after being put in a situation where you have to take care of people.
It really appeals to our basic helping nature, which almost all physicians have. And it is so basic in that environment. You don't deal with insurance companies, you don't deal with a big office, you don't deal with managing your staff. You are just helping someone. So it strips away all the extra stuff and just leaves this doctor-patient relationship or human-human relationship.
Dr. John Edelman was the first scientist to show that mammalian genes transcribe RNA from both strands of the same DNA. He has also uncovered the role of potassium channels in neurotransmission, synaptic plasticity, and learning in heart function.
I was working in San Francisco when I met a guy who ran a lab in Oregon at the University of Oregon, a wonderful gentleman named Edward Herbert, who then became the founding director of the Volume and asked me if I would consider moving up to Oregon and becoming one of the founding scientists. There is no end to the high that I derive from seeing an experiment, no matter how simple it is, work and give us results that are interpretable. We need to know how the brain works in order to know how to modify it best. And specifically, the proteins that we have been studying for the past 17 or 18 years contribute to our understanding of how learning and memory is encoded in the brain. OHSU means a campus that has an integrated program revolving around not only practical medicine in terms of the hospitals and the clinical departments, but also a strong basic science component.
Since losing both his legs early in his adult life, Dr. Jeff Kane has become a role model for resiliency and perseverance. His successful careers in medicine and health policy have taken him to the top of his profession, and in the process he's become a national inspiration for people overcoming physical disabilities.
I came to Colorado because of a residency training program after graduating at OHSU. That meant embracing the mountains, cycling, skiing, those kinds of things. There might have been 10,000 things in the world to do before my accident, and now I can only do 9,500 of them. And so we're going to do every single one of those in a way that makes sense for my body and my prosthetics. I get to actually work with the American Academy of Family Physicians after being their president last year. Now the board chair, I get to go to Washington, D.C. and to talk about the important issues around healthcare, around healthcare access for all Americans, around training the right healthcare workforce for our country's future. The first time I went to OHSU, I was 8 years old. My dad was a dental student, and we would go up and watch him as he went and did some of his dental clinics. OHSU has been there from a child to a learning career to even helping my family later on in life. And so the OHSU has always been a huge influence.
Over 20,000 scientists, healthcare providers have been produced by OHSU over the years, and each and every one of those graduates is serving their communities in unique and special ways.